So I have a free hour open spot, so I'm going to do my own brows. Henna. I do this on myself every few weeks, so I thought, let's do it live. Never done one. So this is what my brows look like. I do have microblading done, but it's very faded. And I have dark hair naturally. I do color it black, but my brows, that's the natural color. So I like doing the henna because it just fills it in just a little bit, but it's still natural enough for days that I don't wear makeup. So first, cleanse. So if you have questions at all about henna or the process, anything, you can ask and I'll answer. That I use to really open up the hair cuticles so that the henna can deposit in. So I'm not, normally at this point, I would draw on the brows. I'd map it, just like I do with microblading. So I use, I feel where your bones, ocular bone is, and I use rulers and also looking visually to see what looks good on your face. And so I would draw on the outline, but for myself, I just do it freehand. So the common question that I get is, are there different colors? Yes. So I use the Elleebana brow henna. Hello, Elleebana brow henna, and it comes in 7 different colors, but they're all customizable. So the lightest color is blonde, and that's going to be very, very natural. The lighter the color, the less time that it stays on the skin. So I usually do add just a tiny bit of black. It doesn't show up as black at all, but having just a little bit of the darker color in there, it extends the longevity of the henna stain on the skin, if that's what you're wanting to have, like a really long-lasting skin stain. Some people don't want that. They just want the hair to be tinted, and the henna does last a bit longer than the regular traditional tint. So we can customize it according to what you want, what you're comfortable with. And so what I use for myself is the dark brown, and then I also add in a bit of black. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix it. It comes in a powder form. You've got a couple, like I would say, you're pretty careful with where you put it. It does stain it pretty quickly, but you do have a little, as long as you get it before it dries. I'm pretty careful though. I stick pretty close to the shape that I want. That's why it's really important with, like earlier when no one was on here, I was saying that normally I map out the brows like I do with microblading. So feeling your ocular bone, where the brows should start, visually looking and measuring with rulers, and I draw on the boundary with a white chalk pencil. For myself, I'm just doing it freehand, but it is important that you stick to where you want the brows, because it will stain where it goes on the skin, and if you don't want it there, then it's kind of hard to get it off. You have to like scrub, exfoliate. Another common question I get about the henna, because traditional henna does go a bit of a red color, and the henna that's formulated for eyebrows by Elleebana, they have additives in it to counteract the redness. So you can't just use any henna for your brows. Like, you can go on Amazon and get henna and do it yourself at home, but you don't know where that henna is coming from. It could go crazy red. This one is a very high quality henna. The higher the quality, the longer the stain, the better the colors. So I think I'm gonna start removing, I'm gonna start removing the fronts. So it's a little bit of a process to remove because you don't want to scrub it. So I usually soak it with water. Freckle trend. People get like tattooed freckles. I don't know what I think about that. but I mean, it does look good on some people. It looks really good. I naturally have freckles, so if I just go in the sun, I'll get them. But henna is something that you can use, and there was a video on YouTube that went viral about someone using a really red henna, and she just went overboard. It's kind of funny. I don't know if she did it on purpose, or if she was legitimately just didn't have a good experience, but it is something if you wanted to try, I'd be willing to try it on somebody if because it's temporary. So if you wanted to just have like some freckles added or a beauty mark or something. My family's in Edmonton, so I don't know why you're texting me, Mom, about bacon. Mapping out, picking colors, and then processing, and then it also includes a complementary shaping, so I can wax, tweeze, or trim, or all. So it just kind of depends on how much hair needs to be removed. So I've allotted an hour for the treatment, but it's 45 minutes to an hour. I don't need to do any shaping on myself. I just waxed my brows, the little few hairs that I have outside a few days ago. So there's one brow's done. And the color I used on myself is dark brown with a little bit of black, because I have very dark hair. Not too crazy, because I actually don't wear a ton of makeup most days, and I used to never do anything with my brows, so it was a little bit getting used to starting to do brow makeup. And then because I've been doing brows for, it'll be 3 years in August, more and more I love brows, and you just get used to them just like you would with lashes. At first it's a little bit bold, but then you get used to it real quick. So when you don't have them anymore, you miss them. So on myself, I do this every few weeks, but it does, like on the hairs, it lasts up to 7 weeks. On the skin, anywhere from 2 to 14 days. So it really depends on your skin type. If you've got oily skin, it's not going to last as long. I have dry skin, and I don't really pay attention to how long it lasts, but I have had people tell me it has lasted the 2 weeks, and then I've had some that it only lasts a few days. So there are a few things that you can do to help this stain be better. So the day before, exfoliating gently, nothing too harsh, because I do include waxing, so you don't want to have sensitive skin for that. But just like with a washcloth, you can just gently exfoliate to remove any dead skin cells, and then as well the morning that you get it done. And then you don't get them wet for 24 hours, and then you're not going to use oils on the brows, and be gentle. So if you don't touch them, then they should last a bit longer, but everyone's a little different, like anything. Hi, Mom. Because unless you don't want to get waxing done, you need to not use AHAs, retinols, anything like that for a week before, because it thins the skin and makes it super sensitive, so waxing will not feel nice. But if you just, you know, get tweezing done, then I guess you could use that, but you're not going to want to use them on the brow area after you have henna, because unless you're just really careful with, because obviously if you put that on where the henna is, it's going to remove it. But you could use that. Just stop using it maybe a few days before, up to a week. Nice. Yeah, I love having it done. It also, like on the hair, it depends on how quickly your hair cycle is. So one of my clients, she just has a really fast shedding cycle. Her lashes shed quicker, so she comes in sooner. And she would always say that her brow tint wouldn't last very long, like a week or something, which is nuts. Like she is in the sun all the time. But with the henna, it does last longer. But what I noticed when she would come in was, because she's got like really, really, really blonde hair, it would be new hairs. So if you just actually shed hair very quickly, it's not gonna last. But if your hair stays on your body for, on average, it's 60 to 90 days. And your hair is gonna be at different stages, so it doesn't all fall out at once. But if you know that your hair doesn't shed as quickly, then you'll know that it'll last a bit longer for you, and then vice versa. Alrighty, that's my henna. Thanks for joining my first live. And if you got any questions, comment. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna go now eat some lunch. Have a good Friday.